Oh, we're on a roll. Oh, it's a good day, Charlie. Gotta keep those doors on coming.
2319! We got 2319! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dimlits, where we are not the brightest bulbs in the box,
But we're brighter than the lamp.
Here we go.
Every time.
This is a podcast where we talk about Pixar movies because why not? And today, we're talking about a very special movie to me and Dickey, at least, because we were like 7, 6 when it came out.
Oh, yes.
One of the few movies I've seen multiple times during its theatrical run. There's not many. And this one, I think I saw it with my family, and then like my aunt and cousin wanted to see it, so me and my brother went with them or something, like a week or two after.
I never saw this in the theaters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Monsters Incorporated, or Monsters Inc., some people have shortened the title to, came out November of 2001. This movie is over 20 years old. I believe it was the highest grossing animated movie of all time at the time of release.
I'll say,
During its run, it ended up being the highest grossing. I think Finding Nemo beat it 2 years later.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Pixar kept breaking that record back then.
No.
So, massive hit. It garnered Randy Newman his first Oscar. This one for Best Original Song, If I Didn't Have You, after like 20-some nominations.
How is this the song that it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is, but
It just came to, it tends to come down to timing.
He's got to win eventually.
And he finally won. Which great song.
I wouldn't have no...
Then if I didn't have you.
Sorry.
Jake sitting there, mouth agape, sucker in there. Just, yeah, so,
I am, how the kids say, vibing.
Yeah, so yes, Monsters Incorporated. Without any further ado, should I read the synopsis?
Let's get into the synopsis.
All
Because
right.
nobody knows what this movie's about.
Yes. I wrote the synopsis
Monsters what?
Oh, yeah. Incorporated.
What's incorporated?
Okay, let's see what I wrote, though, because I wrote this like 6 months ago, and I don't remember any of these.
Oh,
It's probably just straightforward what the movie is.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's what a synopsis is. Go figure. Go figure.
I knew you were going to do that.
Go figure. Go figure. Go figure.
Don't
go
do
figure.
that.
Go figure. I really want to.
We're
I
not
really
bringing
want.
that into this. No.
In a world where human children's screams supply energy, James P. Sully Sullivan and Mike Wazowski are an elite team on the verge of a company record. But everything goes awry when Sully inadvertently brings a human child into the monster world.
Wow. Okay,
That it?
sorry.
That's basically the movie.
Listen, I have to give a quick side on that. For the longest time in my life, I did not know that's how you spell awry. I always thought that word was just pronounced awry. I'll be really honest. I did not know that's how you spell awry. So whenever I saw A-W-R-Y, it just went awry.
He's building this up to, I didn't think that's how they spelled Sully.
Oh!
Instead, it's like, I did not know that's how you spelled, and I'm thinking, Sully. Awry.
I never knew that. I just had to, I just didn't. I thought it was like A-R-R-I-E or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, Dickey.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that in there.
This conversation's gone awry.
Sorry, this conversation's gone Ari.
Oh, yeah. That's a camera, idiot.
I know what that.
Getting a little red in the face over there. I can't I really can't tell.
I think just a touch.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry about that. I just
So Dickey, you have fond memories of this movie.
Oh my god, I have such fond memories.
Well, go into some of it. What do you feel about this movie?
So really, I don't know if I want to start with this or end with this. I'm going to start with this. Have you guys remember when the bass boosted version of the song was like a meme? It was like popular, like
Dickey?
Like everyone just bass boosted that one part of it. And that's honestly now what sticks to my head, which is very unfortunate because this movie is fantastic. And I deserve to remember for the childhood reasons. But no, I remember that stupid song. I go out for names. But no, and this does it.
You're talking about the opening credit music specifically, right?
Yes. Yeah.
When all the doors opening and the letters and they're arranging them and it slaps them. You talking about that?
Yes.
Reminded me of the opening to 101 Dalmatians. Sorry.
Wow, that's a random cut.
It reminded me of the opening to 101 Dalmatians.
I can absolutely see
animated or live action.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Animated.
Now stop.
I haven't seen either in a very long time.
Oh, it's something.
Where it's just the puppies running between the doors and the paw prints on the film.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I just want to get that out of the way. But no, this really is like, I remember, this is one of my, God, I watched this a lot as a kid.
I think I read or saw on some of the special features that the original opening was much scarier, like creepier before doing the whole, Mr. Bile, whatever, Phlegm, what his friends call him.
Something like that, yeah.
Bouncing around, I think they made it scary. I think they said like the movie opened and it was too scary. They're like, yeah, this is our opening scene. We're scaring these kids, so let's make it more upbeat. And that's why it starts with the opening credits, which are very bouncy and jazzy. And
yes, it's so good. And it's interesting because you say that because I feel like one of the things this nails is that tone of just like a little bit scary at times, but just enough scary, just so the kid understands like what, like when you were a kid, every single kid was like scared of the dark at one point in their life. They were scared about like what's happening. I feel like this just enough to just touch on it and then move past it, show you these hilarious and awesome characters. Like I feel like that's where this really stands out. And also one last thing is let me take a sip of water before I do this because this movie made me love doing the impersonations of one of my favorite characters.
He's gonna botch it.
Don't make him laugh, he'll spit.
I'm not gonna botch this. I'm always watching Wazowski. Always watching.
Sounds like he has a cold.
Yeah.
I just love doing Roz's voice. It makes me so happy. Okay, that's all I got.
Roz is pretty fun. As I mentioned while we were chatting of it, that was my mother's favorite character of the movie. My mother's a big fan of this movie too.
Got your paperwork.
Yeah. It's fun again having the subtitles on now as an adult. It's like, oh, that's what they're saying. Because I remember the scene, but when Sully's like walking over to get the paperwork, and he's like going, the goldenrods go to rot. No, the golden, and then he's because remember Mike says leave the puce.
Yes.
And then when he picks it up, he goes, oh, that's puce.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so that's what he said. And perfect casting.
Oh, I mean,
John Goodman and Billy Crystal are so good in those roles.
It's like they're so iconic. Like, I feel like there's nothing. Before I say this, the only other duo that I think stands up to them is Buzz and Woody.
In the Pixar category.
In Pixar category, but I think when you look at
don't like Spike and Arlo from The Good Dinosaur?
Remember, that's one of the ones I have not seen.
Listen here. That is a conversation for another day. But will you stop dogging on a movie that made me cry?
You cried at The Good Dinosaur?
Don't get into it.
When his dad is leading him up the river and he's not looking back and he's like,
I haven't seen it. I can only dog on you so much.
You haven't even seen it?
Remember, this is one of the ones
I'm just saying it's funny how you're jumping into it. When I said stop because
I'm just jumping into it because I like.
You were sitting there so focused on your sucker for a second. I was like, oh, I better rope him back into this in the funniest way. I'm glad I remembered their names. I was like, oh, crap. Oh, Arlo and Spike. That's right.
I can't believe it's such a random thing for you to remember.
Jake, I remember you saying you were not a fan because this is that era of I don't like this. But on this rewatch, you had different thoughts.
I get its appeal. It's funny. I like it.
Does it like stand out at all?
It didn't annoy me as much as it did before. The door thing used to annoy me.
The Doors.
The Doors?
Explain.
What's wrong with the Doors?
I have no idea why 18-year-old me... 18? Hold on. No, 13, 14-year-old me was so annoyed with it.
It's just
I have nothing to offer.
It's like, oh, this character's annoying, or oh, this kind of has this kind of weird tone to it. Like, it's for kids. No, I like the Doors.
There's so many different criticisms you could have said. There's
the Doors,
so many
and
I never said 13 or 14-year-old me was rational.
I know, that's just funny. The Doors. If anything, the chase scene in the third act through all the doors is one of the best parts.
Dude,
They need more of that.
it's so like that was like multiverse hopping before multiverse hopping was cool. like Monsters Inc. did it first.
It's the best multiverse movie Disney has ever made.
Ma, no, the gator's in the house. Now the gator, give me that shovel. Yeah, Mom, get that gator.
Did you say that? And we have to mention. I know Mike and John Goodman and Billy Crystal did a great job. Steve Buscemi
As Randall.
as Randall.
I don't see another door at my station in 5 seconds. I will personally put you through the shredder. Whatever.
He's
And Frank Oz is Fungus. Don't forget.
oh, I
Fungus.
didn't know
Fungus.
Frank
You like cars? Because I got a great car. If you let me go, I will give you a ride in the car.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to interfere with Randall's evil plot. This poor guy.
I had no clue it was Frank Oz. That's amazing. That makes me love him even more, especially when, like, oh my god, I don't know why him in that chair with his lips all puffed up after the thing.
That's someone's
Like-
letterbox picture I saw. It's cracking me up.
Oh no!
It's just him sitting there like that. It's so funny.
Like this
Poor
That
guy.
image is just burned into my mind forever. I'm never gonna be able to forget those lips. It's like Kylie Jenner's like the popular lip thing. This did it
Fungus
first.
did it first.
Fungus did it first.
Then, of course, we have James Coburn playing Henry J. Waternoose III, the twist villain. And it's one of those things where as I'm watching, it's like, wow, there's a lot more than I remember. This one doesn't bug me as much, but it is one of those things like that first scene, I'm like, yeah, he's the bad guy. He's the
Interesting, because like I feel like even now,
As a kid, no, that's over your head. But now it's like, yeah,
Even
that's
watching
pretty
this-
obvious.
even
He's
watching
literally
this
a
now,
crab spider.
I don't feel like they were trying to hide it from you like they do in some, though. Like,
That is true.
like they weren't trying to trick you. It was just kind of, look over here, Randall's a bad guy, but also this guy's a bad guy, but his motivation makes sense.
His motivation,
He wants to keep his
when you look
company
at it,
running.
Yeah, it's
And that's another thing that I noticed as an adult. It's like, just like us, energy shortages.
yeah.
And it's like, that's a big part of the movie because
They're switching to a
as
different
a kid,
energy
it's,
source.
oh,
Like, that's,
the kid is scary and deadly. And then as adults, like, the kid is scary and deadly, and this could ruin this company.
mhm.
Like, that's already supplying energy to this city.
Oh, it's such a like you
And it's
can't like
like-
mess that. That's crucial. It's your energy.
That's right. How could I do this? I'm so stupid. This is going to destroy the company. The company? Who cares about the company?
Company.
What about us? That thing is a killing machine. And she's just spinning in the
Yeah, that was oh my god, that was a while ago. That was a trending trick. That was a trending TikTok song for like a long time. That thing is a killing machine. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I know Mary Gibbs, I believe is how you say that last name. Mary Gibbs voiced Boo, and they couldn't get her to cooperate in the recording booth, so they had her run around the studio playing, and they'd record her reactions to things.
Are you serious?
I think that's what I read
so
how they did it.
smart.
Yeah, they just could not because she's like 3.
Oh, obviously, like, how are you gonna like get a kid that's 3 years old like sit in like your recording booth and do the whole thing? Like, no, that's not how kids are gonna want to do things. That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm so glad you told me that. I can just picture the guys that are trying to record him just chasing around the microphone, like, here, talk this way, and trying to get around the segment. That's so fun.
And of course, we have to mention John Ratzenberger as the abominable snowman.
He made snow cones.
Welcome to the Himalaya.
Well,
And this I'm going to be embarrassed about because for years I did not get a very, very easy joke. And then just one day it dawned on me. Because it's one of those things where I interpreted it the wrong way and it didn't matter. It's because
yellow snow cones.
it's the yellow snow cones Because he turns to him and he goes, snow cone. And I goes, ugh. And I thought, who eats a snow cone in the middle of a blizzard? Like, and that's like me. It's like, why? Yeah, why? It's like eating ice cream outside in the winter. It never occurred to me that they're yellow.
Then he said, "Oh, I go make s'mores. It's gonna take me a second though,"
or something.
Yeah, something of that nature. It was like, "Oh no!"
And you rag on the good dinosaur, and you didn't even get a joke about yellow snow.
I took it the other way.
What other way is there to take it? It's yellow snow.
I didn't look at the color. I was like, yeah, why would you eat a snow cone in the middle of a blizzard? And then suddenly I realized, I think I was like 22. I was just thinking about it one day.
22?
Yeah.
22!
I'm thinking about it one day because I just have movie scenes playing in my head from time to time. They all do it. And I'm just like, wait a minute. No, don't worry. It's lemon. I go, oh.
Oh no.
I feel so stupid. I am really stupid right now.
Absolutely hilarious.
It'll take me a few minutes. That's funny.
Yeah, I know that's what made me laugh was that part of it. And I don't know why. I just the look of Sully's hair after like Mike threw like the ice at it, so it was like a little covered with ice and it was blowing the wind. I just remember like that looks so good, and they made this in 2001.
I read that.
I feel like that still holds up.
Sully's fur took 11 to 12 hours per frame to render.
Holy crap!
Per frame?
Per frame.
No. It takes 11 hours for one frame.
One frame of Sully's fur.
Single frame.
That is what I read. I was like, oh my gosh. Imagine you get done, quote unquote. You do the render thing, you wait a whole day for one thing. Because, it's probably rendering as they're working or however it works. And then you look back and there's a mistake. And it's like, oh my gosh. So once this is all done, fix that.
Oh my
It's
God.
just like like in college when I was working on something on my crap book. And it was not handling Premiere well, and it'd take 6 hours to export my 15-minute documentary, like short. And
how big was that?
It's just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it took 6 hours. So I'd like watch a movie or two and then it'd get done. And I go to watch and I get my little notepad out to write down the mistakes. I know there's going to be some. The first 5 seconds, there's a mistake. It was like a picture. You could see the edge of the picture that I'd taken the background out of. I go, you kidding me?
That's why when you do those early renders, just render like a quarter quality so it spits it out faster. It's a little trick I got.
At this point,
I know that's so far removed.
It was like, are you kidding me?
That makes sense. I mean, like the detail, like I said, the detail in the fur is just.
Speaking of details, the world building in this movie is so good.
It's brilliant.
Whereas the Toy Story movies are in our world, and A Bug's Life is in our world, but a very different perspective. This is connected to our world, but it's not. It's a mirror of it for them. So seeing all the architecture and the architecture.
Wow, you sound like Dickey.
I do.
Hey!
And the technology and all that stuff. It's like, this is fun. It's when they're first starting to make these separate worlds like that, and I'm like, this is really fun to look at. There's a lot of detail.
The cars. For me, it's the cars that stand out. The way they're designed. It just feels so, like, Elseworldy, but also not.
And then, I was just thinking of the news broadcast after Boo has escaped, and it's just, it flew right over. He blasted the car with his lasers. I tried to run from it, but it picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a dog. It's true. I saw the whole thing. It is my firm opinion that now is the time to panic. Just all that stuff going on. It's like, that hits pretty hard. Still.
It does. Oh my God, that's so funny. You say that, and that just makes hearing that just makes you think of just all the screaming in this movie, and I feel like personally the best screaming is Billy Crystal. Like, just hearing him, like, I'm going to back up for the mic when I do this, but I don't know.
At what part?
I feel like he's always screaming and hurting himself. Like, the majority of this movie is just him running into things and getting hurt. And
he does get hurt a lot.
And just this, like, the sounds that come out of that man's mouth are so good. I love that. I love Billy Crystal's mouth. It's really amazing.
You heard it here first. Dickey loves Billy Crystal's mouth.
He has such a great voice and he makes such funny sounds with it. It's a great mouth. But yeah, so Billy Crystal's mouth is absolutely fantastic. But also, so is John Goodman's. Again, I feel like like when he was doing the push-ups like in the very beginning.
Twins on the bunk bed. Oh, almost had you there.
And also, that man, like, I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing it was still all just his voice when he was actually doing, like, he was, like, screaming. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they layered in, like, a couple of animals, like, under it all.
Are you talking about the Sully roar?
Yeah.
That's most definitely animal sounds.
Okay.
I don't think John Goodman can make that sound.
I wasn't sure.
It literally sounds like a bear. It's literally a bear.
I know. That's why I was going to be really impressed.
It's like a lion and a bear together.
He's a kitty.
He's right. He is kitty. But that's
that last line hits you right.
Oh, that last line
just
punches you.
He opens the door. It's just ooh,
kitty.
And then you hear the music cue go up as he lifts his head up and it ends right there. Perfect. We don't even see it.
The ending is absolutely stellar. Which is why I'm glad instead of going forward when they made their new monsters, they went backwards.
Yeah. Well, coming to that. So we will have to watch the prequel sequel in like 10 movies or something. Actually, because this is movie number 4.
Is it?
It is in 10 movies.
Huh?
It's movie number 14. So I have the original DVD release. My parents owned it. So I thought, okay, movie's over. I'm going to go to disc 2 because they did that all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that disc 2 is packed. I only spent about 30 minutes on it because there's like 3 hours of content. I'm just watching bits and pieces and whatnot. So I'm getting into it. That's where I heard about some of the stuff. I found the Easter eggs. I think there were some games, but I didn't play them. Watched a couple shorts and just all that stuff. They have like a 30-minute studio tour because they just moved into their new studio.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this out. It was like a Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna take this out. And what do I gotta write my notes down. Then I thought, I kind of want to do a little more research on this franchise.
Okay.
So I did not watch.
Do you know where this is going, Dickey?
I do know where this is going.
I did not watch the prequel movie. I instead checked out the first episode of the Disney Plus series.
Wait, there's a Disney Plus series of this?
Monsters at Work. I didn't know anything about it other than it's a Monsters Incorporated show.
I feel like that's right for...
They brought back John Goodman and Billy Crystal. They do sound 20 years older. Not a bad way. It's still them.
I mean, as long as
they are not fully the main characters.
That's kind of...
Half of the story is those two, because it's the interesting thing. The series takes place between the moment Sully says, after Mike says, at least we had a few laughs, and Sully goes, laughs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the next scene where Mike is in the kids' room entertaining him. The series is entirely so far. Yeah, it's in that time jump. It literally is right there, and I remember thinking like, oh, okay, so it's literally the day that this happened.
Huh.
Or like the next day or something. They're trying to, because they're chosen to run the company. And there's still the shortages, and what I kind of liked about the premise was we're not just jumping from here to here. It's like, okay, the laughing works. Now we got to actually do this.
Yeah,
I thought that's interesting. Then they introduce a new character who has just graduated as a scarer, and he gets there. He's already gotten the job, and they've already switched. And I feel bad for him. And, so then he works with the maintenance department and is trying to get a job as a jokester, as they're called. Oh. Now, on paper, that sounds more interesting. It is a very harmless, fine show. I watched the first 5 episodes.
How many are there?
Like 10 or 12 or something. It's one season so far. But I remember watching it. I watched the first episode. I go, this is interesting. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just fine. It's made for a younger audience. So there's that. But
wait. So far?
When
was the first season released?
2021.
Dang.
Yeah, the second season is next year.
It was announced very, very recently.
I'm not trying to do too much. I just want to talk about me watching 5 episodes. I couldn't stop.
That's such an interesting.
But
premise,
they don't.
though.
They do it in a simpler way because they're geared towards kids, and I get that. I just feel like there's something interesting here where half your story is the characters we know dealing with that, and you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of business. That's boring for kids.
No, yeah.
But then the other half is the main character. The other main character, Tyler is his name, trying to like get there, and it's the classic like he becomes a family with these maintenance workers, and Henry Winkler is like the head of the maintenance department, and the jokes are not very good.
Well,
it's painfully unfunny at times, but then there are other times I chuckled. So it's one of those things where I don't know if it's very good. It's not made for me, but also I keep watching. Why am I still watching?
Dude, there's a couple of like reality shows that hit me that same way. I'm like, this is trash. I don't like.
But I wouldn't call this trash.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's not that harsh, but it's like, again, why am I still like? Why am I stuck in this role?
Yeah, it tends to. This one just tends to be. I like how this world is set up. This is an interesting way to do it. It's not being done super. It's fine. Mm-hmm. It's just something there. I thought this is an interesting way to tell this story.
It's such a smart, like in my mind, that's such a smart way to branch together the 2 different movies in a very creative way. Like you would have not expected anything from Monsters University to like continue over, but then you got like you said,
it's one scene at the university.
Oh, it's just one. It don't bring that much. Okay.
It's literally like him. He has graduated, and the teacher saying, "Hey, you got this thing in the mail. It's hey, you've been hired by us."
Because I feel like if they would have brought up more of his experiences at school, and then kind of weave that into the storyline, I feel like that would have been a really creative way, like I said, to branch it. But probably they don't.
Yeah, it's just when they announced it and everything, I'm like, that is such an odd choice for a show. Okay, it's Disney Plus, they can do whatever they want, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and then watching it, it's like, yeah, this is weird. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Monsters at Work, the 5 episodes I watched. Who knows if I'll ever finish it? I just wanted to get some
about the same time you finished Smallville.
Shut up. Anyway, by then the show will be done, though.
It's true.
So.
You do love endings.
Yeah.
And yeah, this the same.
I'm trying to think if I had any other notes. I think I covered everything.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you do?
So my only real connection to this movie is the fact that it spawned one of the most meh Kingdom Hearts levels ever.
What game is it?
3.
Oh, so there's a Monsters Incorporated world.
Yes.
What's the level called? Just Monstropolis?
Yes.
It literally is just named after the city?
Yeah, the story of the world takes place after
after the first movie?
Yeah, I think so. If I remember correctly.
It's bad?
It's not bad. It's just one long corridor. One long straight corridor. And then you kill some Heartless. And then you glide on some rails, and then you're done.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts. So
you don't even get to go into the door vault?
You do. You just don't get to use them.
There's so much potential there.
I know.
That's lame.
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of which, I thought it was interesting. There's that extreme long shot when they first go to work at the beginning of the movie where you see the door vault and all the scare floors, because there's a bunch of scare floors. I didn't notice this. You can see them walking into the building in the bottom left corner. They're tiny. They're actually walking into the building in that shot. I didn't know it until I went to disc 2, and they pointed out, like, hey, not only are they walking through the building, the giraffe on Boo's room wall is following them. I go, that's a little creepy.
Huh.
That rubbed me in a weird way.
That is really weird.
They have a lot of little, like, Harryhausen's. Just named after Ray Harryhausen, the stop-motion pioneer, as they say.
Huh. Well, that's...
Yeah, it's just little details like that.
Well, wasn't there, I think they pointed it out. I saw like a Pixar, like, you know, one of those, like, all the Easter eggs or whatever. Isn't one of Boo's drawings,
all of Boo, I think,
or...
Well, all of Boo's drawings were drawn by the actress, and she signed it Mary, so canonically Boo's name is Mary.
Huh.
So that's one detail.
Nemo
toy is in her room.
That's what I'm
The Luxo Junior ball that we see in Toy Story with the star on it is in her room as well.
Okay, maybe that's what I mean. Not the drawing.
Oh, and Jessie. She has a Jessie doll.
There is a
yep.
Yeah, man. I swear, sometimes I think they just sit back like, okay, we're gonna just throw this really quick to sneak this in there. Like no, like only like 5 people are gonna pick up on it, and then obviously it gets carried on. But it's so cool. Easter eggs.
Yeah. Did we have anything else to say about Monsters Incorporated?
I'm pretty happy. We put that thing back where it came from.
Or so help me.
Sadly, I don't have a lot to say on this, just because it's from an era I don't care about.
This was it was such a big world to me as a kid. And watching it, I was like, there's so much detail put into this, just even outside the movie. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it fun. And now I don't get that feeling with the newer ones. Yes, I'm an adult, but I feel like because they're churning out one every year or even 2 a year, they just don't. I don't know if they're putting as much of that kind of work into it because they're much bigger and are.
I was gonna say, I feel like the newer ones are trying to force a cosmic scale on you, whereas they've
all gone like
kind of took the box and put you inside the box. This is just trying to make the.
That makes sense.
That's a really good point. I feel like the newer ones are like more existential. Like they're really cutting for the jugular and those kind of feelings.
It all started with Inside Out,
which is great, but the trend that it started is maybe.
Yeah. If anything, it's the world feels bigger because we don't see it all.
Yeah.
See parts of it.
It's more left up to your imagination.
And one of the coolest parts on disc 2 is you can do location fly around.
Huh.
It's floating through like all the different areas that they go through, like, and there's no one in them. And I just remember, like, as a kid, oh, this is so cool. Watching a 2001 DVD on a bigger 2020 TV.
Oh, I'm sure it looked great.
Hurt my eyes. It was so blurry. It's pixely. I watched 4 seconds of one. I go, just stop. This hurts.
Oh my god.
So hopefully they touch up those for some kind of subsequent release if they haven't already.
They probably just won't include that feature.
They probably won't because no one cares. I care, but no one.
All of a sudden, Criterion will like get licenses to all the old Disney movies.
Let's go. That would be wild.
That's the thing, though. They just throw them back in the vault, though. No one touches them. Man. That's Disney.
Yeah.
I don't know. They re-released Lion King in like 12 times in theaters since it came out.
Yeah, the vault isn't for the movie. The vault is for the releases, the physical releases. It's different now that they have streaming, so they could just do the same old. We just pull this when we want. Mm-hmm. But also, it's like because remember their whole strategy when the classics. VHS, the clam case ones came out. Their whole thing was, hey, parents, you got to buy them now because they're going to go back in the vault, and then they wouldn't release another one for a couple years. Mm-hmm. And at that time, that was the only way to watch them. So it was a pretty smart, scummy way of doing it.
Oh, wow. That doesn't sound like Disney. I don't know what does.
Yeah. Anything else about Monsters Incorporated?
Nah.
It's an absolute classic. You really can't forget about it.
It's just a fun time. That's my biggest thing. I had fun. The other 3 movies we watched before this are fun. This might be the most fun out of them. It's not the deepest. It's not. It's pretty simple, and it's just good characters and just having a good fun time.
It goes more for just having a good time rather than like making you feel sad.
Yeah, I mean, I still felt stuff.
Oh, you're gonna feel sad, but yeah.
You have feelings?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He makes this joke, but I am very emotional. Very emotional.
As we all.
Anyway, next we'll be looking at a movie that broke Monsters Incorporated's box office record by a lot. By almost $400 million worldwide.
That's a heck of a...
Yep. Finding Nemo came out in May of 2003. It is a movie that I am not looking forward to rewatching. Not because the movie isn't good, because I've seen it so many times.
Let's play a game. How many times have you seen Finding Nemo?
Probably 30.
Okay, we're about on par here.
Yeah, but that's for another day.
Seen like 15 or 20. But still.
Dickey, where can they find us?
Buddy, I don't need a script.
Fine.
If you want to pay attention to all of our funny stuff we got going on, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, and a Facebook page. All at Off Slate Media. Oh, yes. Lean in. Do pay attention because you have me making fun of myself now. Good job. Our TikTok is funny.
Hold on. What did he say was funny?
Our TikTok, bud.
What?
Yep, you heard me right.
Huh.
We have a TikTok.
Our TikTok is funny.
We post memes pretty much weekly, and
We post memes.
I do. I run
Dickey
it.
posts.
I think it's all right. I think
it's all right.
Yeah.
I think so. Me think you do pretty good jobs too.
me has bad grammar. Anywho, and then, yeah, you can follow us and all that, and don't forget to make sure to listen to us at Stitcher, on Spotify, on Apple, on Google. Leave us really positive 5-star reviews. It helps us look good. And like, comment, subscribe, ring our bell, pay attention to us on YouTube because we got a really cool set now, and we want to show it off for everyone.
The set is so cool that it triggered some kind of overstimulation. Now I have to wear these sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, because I
you
love
need
how
an
this looks, I am destroying myself.
Dedicated.
Do you need an MRI?
What's that again? Is that the...
Yes.
Oh, I
It's a
don't... I'm always scared of getting stuck in those.
You're not going to get
How do you know? You ever had one?
No, but
How do you know?
They are big. You are not.
Have you ever been in one?
No, but you are not going to get stuck.
I'm gonna get stuck.
You're not going to get stuck.
Anyway, we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. I will tackle you as soft as I can, but you gotta go down. That's the big thing.
I know.
What's wrong? Put that in the outtakes.
Oh, God.
Maybe I will. La 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 la. That's another episode.
Are you?
I have been for a while, bro. What did I say, Jared? You read my letterbox more than I do.
You're James Johnson? What do people call me James? I thought you said this was soup! There's soup in it. Say, at the Thunder Jack, I leave my outhouse and all of its possessions. And they all start laughing, and then he just cuts off, and they all cut off. What a stupid movie, I love it. Rufus, get off the phone. I'm not on the phone! You really, what is it? You really messed up this time. We tried to tell you you didn't belong here. And they sure like that. I like him. Oh, sure, you'll roll over anyone to pull your bowl of slump. And they're and Michael Bolton appears and it's like, Ted, no matter what color you are, you mean you can still have soul. I mean,
What kind of acid trip?
give me, hey, can I have one of those blue cheese cookies, please?
The blue cheese cookies!
Thanks. You demon. I'm mushing today. Oh, I'm dead! I love Billy Crystal's mouth.
Ho ho ho.
So 6 minutes. Talk about snow dogs.
Oh, God. Okay.
Sorry, you've been talking.
He's enabling me though.
By laughing.
Will you clap the board already?
Just almost going. It was ha ha ha. Oh.